Thank you very much. Good morning. So I'm Kevin Thompson. I'm the founder and CEO of Interactive Sports Group, and I got to tell you, I am excited to be here today to talk to you about the first product that we're launching in the first quarter of 2018 called Interactive Touch Football. Interactive Touch Football will be the option for those athletes and parents interested in a non-tackle football form of football. But before I get into exactly what Interactive Touch Football is, I want to talk a little bit about the landscape that we're in today. So football, is football big in Texas? It's huge in Texas, right? So millions of kids play football. Growth rate is about 2% every year. And if you're good enough, you might even play on the college level. And if you're great, one of the 1.5% that are great, you might even play in the NFL. We love football. Unfortunately, there is a bad side. And I think all of you may have heard about some of the stories about concussions and also head trauma, a lot of injuries. 2 months ago, there was a study that came out that said 110 out of 111 athletes, NFL athletes, had CTE, which is a brain disease. Of those, so you know about that. What you may not know about is that concussions, 47% of the concussions that are experienced on the high school level. But let me repeat that. Our children who are in high school are experiencing 47% of the concussions. So what does that mean? Parents have a tough decision to make. 1 in 3 parents are concerned about their child getting a concussion. That's serious. So what are parents doing? They're thinking about what other alternatives are out there that my kid can play and enjoy the game of football. Are they finding them? Yes. They're playing flag football. 1.7 million kids in the United States are playing flag football. That's up 8.7%. Parents are finding and are going to a safer mode of football. Football is a great sport. They're also playing touch football. So flag football and touch football are growing areas of the football market. This is where Interactive Touch Football found a market opportunity and found a key problem to solve. And the problem that we're solving is today, with these non-tackle football options, there's no form of non-tackle football that teaches solid football fundamentals while at the same time maintaining the integrity of the game. Our product, patent-pending product, solves that problem. So I'd like to introduce you to Interactive Touch Football. And what we have is a visual, and also an audio response that represents a tackle. And I'm going to have my team show you how it works. So we have a quarterback who hands off to a running back, and then the defender comes and touches them, and you get a light. Did everybody hear it? Did everybody see it? So what's happening with the products that we're developing, not only can you see it and hear it, which replaces or flag football, but also we have data that's going real time that we're collecting. That data is game stats, so now the kids can have an app where they can see their game stats. But we're going to use that data actually to manage the game also. No one in the market is looking at data the way we're looking at it. Market validation. So we're excited about it, but I got to tell you, when we actually put product in the field, absolute success. We had over 100 kids this summer who tested our outfit, our uniform, our wearable technology, and they absolutely loved what we had. 59% said that they prefer it over flag football. Meaning if we went into the market right now with the product that we have that's not fully built out yet, we'd take 50% of the flag football market. That's just amazing. 72% said they'd recommend it to a friend. So we feel very comfortable that getting into the market that will do very well. As I said, our main product that we're entering the market in 2018 is going to be our minimum viable product, is what you just saw. The data acquisition and the data collection, as we gain market share and we gain revenue and profit, we're going to roll that back into the business, and we're going to use that to build out the data piece and also to build out our league management portion. So in 2018, we're going to have 3 products that we're going to enter the market with. Over 6.3 million youth and kids play some form of football. We love football. Tackle football, all forms of football. We're laser focused only on the 1.7 million kids who are playing flag or touch football. we're not trying to compete with football, with tackle football. I love tackle football. But for those who are interested and convinced that they're looking for a safer version of football, we want them to play interactive touch football. To get there, we know we need key partnerships, partnering with leagues, and that's why Frisco is the place, Sports City USA. So partnering with leagues and parents and coaches, if we do that very well and they promote our product, then we know all we have to do then is make sure that our product is fun, kids enjoy the experience, and it'll grow. So we feel strongly about our revenue we can gain there. We have a solid team of 150 years experience collectively, from my engineering background, manufacturing background, business startup background, project management background. We're ready. We're not rookies, right? We have our electrical engineer who has a proven track record, fashion designer because it has to look good, it has to feel good, and our technical sales leader has plenty of years of 20 plus years experience in technical sales with IBM and Microsoft. So we do have the team. Frisco is the place, and this is the time for interactive touch football. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Malithi, and I'm one of the organizers. And thank you all again for being here today. And thank you so much for your presentation. I think you guys did a fantastic job. I love the demo from Connor and Mateo and Ellie. So thank you so much. We're going to transition right into our Q&A. We have 14 minutes for Q&A today. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll come out to you. One important thing to remember is please do not start speaking until you receive the microphone. That's really key. And also, I would like for you to stand and share your name before you start to ask your question if possible. So with that, we're going to get started. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
All right. So who has the very first question for Interactive Sports?
My name is Dean Bowman. My question would be, I saw your participation ages up there. My feeling is once you get over 14, I would think that because of the Texas culture, there's a huge peer pressure to play the tackle football in high school. So my question would be, after the child turns or they get over 14, I could see once they get out of high school, I could see organized leagues with your sport, but what about the kids between 14 and 18? Because it's so ingrained here. Just for example, I live in North Dakota, and I'm having to explain to people up there, why are you guys building a $100 million high school football stadium down there?
Welcome to Texas.
It's embarrassing when I get that question,
Right.
and I don't know what to say. Because education's important? Yeah, nice try. But what do you do? Because I could see between 14 and 18 that you've got no participation. Because I would have a hard time picturing an organized league where someone who really wants to be on the high school football team, and I think it's a big peer thing. Trust me, I live in Euless. I'm aware of this. What do you do with those kids? 'Cause I could see them dropping out, but I do think you're on the right track because of the concussion. Soccer's getting bigger, so I think you're in a good spot.
Right. Dean, I appreciate the question, and I think you're spot on with what do we do with those who are older than 14. And I'm not going to be long-winded with my answer, but I'm going to be as brief as I can because that question excites me. Our target market is 6 to 14 for a very specific reason, because the health of our kids is very important to us. You asked us what our big why is. We want to make sure our kids, not just in Frisco, but nationally, have a great experience playing the game of football. We love it. To do that, though, we want to make sure that the kids at the age of 14, lost my train of thought, sorry about that. So your question was, what do we do with the kids who, between 14? In high school. Okay, so in high school, that's not our target market. When we talk about what we're trying to do, we're trying to make sure the two problems we solve is the fundamental teaching of the fundamentals of football. By teaching the fundamentals of football, we expect that the kids will be able to transition to tackle football versus flag. So when you pull on a flag, it's not a football move, right? So we don't want them to do that. But if they choose, when their brains are fully developed after the age of 12 to 14, then we want them to transition to tackle football if they want to. But it won't be an option. It won't be the only option that they have. And that's the key. We want to make sure that they have options. They can go to tackle or they can play interactive touch football.
Hi, my name is Blake Lind. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the price point of the technology that they're wearing and the revenue model.
Great question. So the price point, so flag football price point on average is about $100, $75 to $100 for an athlete to play. Tackle football, anyone have an idea how much it costs for a kid to play tackle football? It's about $430 on average and up, right? So our price point is a sweet spot right in between there, between $190 and about $250 for our wearable technology. In 2018, 97% of our sales are going to come from wearable technology sales. As we get revenue and profit from selling our wearable technology, then we're going to add that revenue stream in terms of the data collection and then the league management software.
Thank you.
Who has the next question?
Hello, my name is Karen. I'm the owner of Fresh Squeeze Marketing. First of all, Kevin, you did an amazing job. You're ready for Shark Tank.
Thank you.
My question for you is about the technology of the wearable jerseys. Can you talk a little bit about how that data is collected, how that works? Is it Wi-Fi technology? And then also, being a woman, is it washable?
Great question. And I got to tell you, we've been going at this for over 2 years, and we have patent pending, and we're not just one patent pending, we're building a portfolio of patents to protect what we're doing. But wearables, in terms of washing, you take the technology out, our circuitry, you can put, we don't want to say you put it in the washing machine, but there's a certain detergent you use to wash it in a delicate cycle. So that's, most wearable technology, that's what you have to go through. In terms of the technology, we've spent a lot of time testing a lot of different technology, a lot of different sensors. Ours is one of the most robust types of technology that we've been able to create out there in the market. And that's why we're looking at making sure we're protecting that with our patents. Mm-hmm.
So is it Wi-Fi?
Oh, good question. In terms of the data acquisition, it could be Wi-Fi, it could be Bluetooth. The options will be depending on the environment that the athlete is in.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
Nancy Koblenz. So my question is, what is your strategy for market penetration? Are you going through like school programs or directly through like building your own leagues? Like how are you going to go about that?
Great question, Nancy. So in terms of how we plan to get into the market is because we're in Frisco and we're developing relationships, our first goal is to work with the leagues that exist today. For example, the FFL or I-9 Sports. So we're starting our discussions with them. I've got kids who play in the FFL who are testing out the equipment, and I have good contacts there to make sure we have a chance to get into those leagues. Now, that's plan A. Okay. Plan B is that we will start our own leagues. We don't really want to get into the league management, but I can tell you, we've been at this and we've been talking to people, and like I said, we've had athletes play with our equipment. They want this sport. So if the leagues don't want to offer it, which they may not, we'll start our own leagues. And do we think we'll be successful? Yes, because we have kids who are willing to play. The team that I put together is proven. We're not afraid to work. We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure this product gets here in Frisco. Again, our big why is that it's safer. It's safer than tackle, right? There's options there. But in terms of teaching kids solid football fundamentals, there's no better platform than the one we're creating.
Hi, my name is Brooke Asamanu, representing MVR Sport. My question, to piggyback off of the technology question, can it distinguish a touch between an opponent versus like a fellow teammate or like a false touch?
Great question. And I'm going to give you a long-winded answer on that one. So yes, it can. But the reason why we built that functionality out is our first thought is we're just going to build it so anyone can touch, and that's just what it's going to be. Just like in flag football, anyone can pull a flag, or if someone is playing tackle football, if you bump into your teammate, they can knock you down, right? So anyone can touch you and have you go down. But we did find it was too noisy. It wasn't a great user experience. And what we're talking about is making sure the user experience is awesome. So we did build in new technology that differentiates not just teams, but whether you have possession of the ball or not. Right? So we've got that covered, and that's why when I showed you the 59% right now with what they tested, the 41%, we know exactly what we need to do. And that's being built into our final product. Great question. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Bozbaz. What's the battery life?
Joseph, great question. So a lot of great questions today. But that particular question, researching the different types of power that we use, right now we're powering it with a 9-volt battery. We're going to be able to go with a smaller battery that's less intrusive. But in terms of life, we had it tested for 6 weeks. The kids were playing it twice a week. Battery life is still good. So it has a long life. Mhm. Oh.
Do we have another question?
Hi, I'm Veena. It was a great presentation. I want to try it now, so that was good.
Great.
You think there might be a point where you could tap out on your customer base because it's such a niche area and you're targeting the US? Are you thinking of adding more different products for different sports and penetrating other countries?
I like that question too. So we see the market as huge, right? The name of our company is called Interactive Sports Group, right? And our mission is to develop products that use wearable technology to make sports interactive and fun. Not just football, not just basketball, but all sports that we get into. Now, right now, like I showed you on the screen, we're laser focused on football. We want to get that right. We want to make sure we're solid in that market, then we can expand to other markets. To answer your question directly, yes, we see this as broader than just touch football.
Yeah, great job. My name is Paul Wetzel. My question is around your data. How are you centralizing or warehousing that data, and who will be consuming that data?
That's another great question, right? So in terms of the data acquisition, we don't have that full answer yet. What we have is a proof of concept showing that we can have multiple streams of data going to a server, and it's showing us the data that we want. We see this as building out a house. The technology, the process is already known. So in terms of building out and answering those direct questions, we just need to get the funding, and one of the asks I'm going to have is we need to get the funding so that our architect and our developers can build out that solution.
All right, let's take one more question.
My name is Narsi Namala. My question to you is, what is the cost of your production in terms of the equipment versus the software side of it?
Can you repeat that question for me?
I'm saying, what is the cost of producing this equipment, which is wearable technology, versus the software behind it? What is the total cost of it?
Great question. I'll tell you our margins on the wearable tech that we're selling, the cost compared to what is on the market, we're about 60% margins in terms of what we expect to be with our price point to our costs.
That was shorter than I expected, so I'll take another question. Do we have any more questions for Kevin? One more, okay.
I'm sorry, I was just sitting over here and I've been asked this question when I presented Million Cups. What can we as a community do for you to help you succeed? What do you need?
That's the question I've been waiting for.
That was supposed to be my question. That was my question. All right, okay, we have 2 minutes for you to answer that question, so go right ahead.
Okay. Okay, what you all can do for me is several things. One, in order for us to get to where we're commercializing our product, we need to raise capital. We're just trying to raise a modest $215,000. That may sound low to some of you, but we want to make sure our capital raise is what we need and not what we necessarily just want to have. So we're very lean. Our team is proven. We know what we need in order to get our product to market. So angel investors who understand sports, appreciate sports, want to innovate, and they appreciate what we're doing here in North Dallas, right? That's the type of angel investor that I'd like to bring in as part of what we're doing, because Frisco is going to be the home of interactive touch football before we go national. So that's one. Two is partnerships. As we said, the key for us to succeed is key partnerships within the city and within other communities. So access to folks who run leagues, access to coaches, to test out our, not test out our equipment, but to promote our equipment. We're looking for that kind of support. And then, I don't know what I can't see. So you all are experts in your respective fields. you see where we're going with this. If you see opportunity, we'd love to partner with you. We'd love to see how we can work together. So those are the areas that we feel that we greatly appreciate involvement within our community.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for everything. We really appreciate having you here.
Thank you.